Good evening, welcome to the Bell Sports Complex, home of the Montreal Canadiens and host of tonight's Flag Plus Football Division 4A final between the Alpha Tees and Keyport Lock. My name is Brent Bach. I'm joined on the broadcast by my partner, GM Colethris. Partner, this is it.
This is it,
Two
partner.
good teams. They battled their way through the regular season. They battled their way through the playoffs. A lot of upsets along the way. Finally made it to the finals. Here we go. What do you expect?
Yeah, a lot of upsets along the way, as you mentioned. Alpha T's big games over 69ers. Unfortunately, your commission and top season. Keyport Lock getting through the Jaguars, the Mountain Lions, and Jaeger Bomb to get here as well. Both teams very, very familiar faces with FPF, looking to cement their dynasties for their respective teams.
Quickly, for Keyport Lock, what did they have to do this evening to get the W?
Keyport Lock honestly just need to manage the time a little bit better, play methodical, patient offense. Jeff Rosenblatt needs to really draw the clock out, keep the ball out of Jesse Dupuis's hands, and make sure that the offensive snaps for the Alpha Tees are limited.
And for the Alpha Tees, what do they need to do to win yet another championship?
Look, right now they're 2 for 2 in the finals. They've been very, very strong so far. They need to capitalize on those mismatches. The big playability of the Alpha Tees receivers will be a big one here. There's a lot of depth here. Marc-Antoine Vallée, Alexis Gaumont, Houle as well, Brian Mongeau. There's a lot of depth here, and if he starts to hit his usual suspects early and often, it may get out of hand.
A lot of big-name players, as you mentioned, a lot of all-star experience. On both teams, Keyport Lock has 3 players with a championship ring and 4 all-star appearances, and Alpha Tees have 6 players with a championship and 4 players who have made all-star. Jesse Dupuis takes the first snap of the game. He rolls out. Dupuis picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play.
With that quick step to the left there, Jesse Dupuis was able to get a position on rusher David Myron. David Miron overcommitting just that little bit, falling over, and Jesse capitalizing and taking off on that run to start this game here.
Jesse Dupuis definitely not afraid to run the ball. On the regular season, 23 carries for 218 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging over 9 yards a carry. And in the postseason, 13 carries for 135 yards, 1 TD. Had a big game last week against top season, running 6 times for 80 yards on the score.
Whether he's throwing or running, he's a force to be reckoned with to get those yards.
And he goes deep, and that ball was way out of bounds. Nice pressure provided on the play right there by number 26, David Miron. Miron obviously coming into this game.
So Alexis Gaumont, the intended target, the intended receiver who was the target of that pass there, being covered by Daniel Farag. Looks like he came from the left slot position, running almost a fat post or an opposite side corner there, just trying to get separation on his defender.
So Miron coming into the game with 9 sacks so far in this postseason, already passing his total. He had 8 sacks in the regular season.
Yeah, 5-sack game in the opening round of the playoffs. A big pressure for this Keyport Lock defense.
Dupuis rolls out to his left, throws it across his body. Open is Mathieu Houle. Houle tackled by Bustani, but not after gaining a first down.
So you see Kevin Bustani had overcommitted a little bit, covering receiver on the wideout position on the right wideout, Elliot Lambert, following him as he went straight through, which unfortunately left Mathieu Houle open on those sidelines for that catch and then the resulting yards after completion.
So Houle making his first catch of the evening in the regular season. He had 30 receptions for 366 yards, 12 touchdowns. So far in this postseason, 6 catches, 74 yards, and 2 TDs. Obviously, Houle's going to want to try to add to his total in the touchdown department tonight.
Waiting the snap here.
So Dupuis gets a snap from Vallée. Dupuis rolling to his right, puts it over, caught by Elliot Lambert.
Looks like that's Alexis Gaumont on that drag. Yeah, Alexis Gaumont on that drag, getting enough separation on his receiver there with Elliot Lambert, as you mentioned, and Mathieu Houle running clear outs to open up the space for that drag underneath there. Just a season route.
Pardon me, that 12 from Gaumont looked like it was number 18 that Lambert wears. Nonetheless, a big play right there for the Alpha Tees as they extend this drive.
Looks like it's red zone here, just inches of that first down marker. They can still get a first down even though they are in the red zone here.
Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit higher.
So Dupuis waiting for the snap. He gets it, rolling out to his right. Throwing across his body, wide open is Vallée for the touchdown. And the Alpha Tees jump out to an early 6-0 lead.
So this is something that we like to see from Jesse Dupuis. He really enjoys hitting his snapper on those either a corner route or a deep out route, something that you're not necessarily accustomed to seeing centers come up with in these games. Both centers on teams, Alpha Tees and Keyport Lock, Jadaridi and Marc-Antoine Vallée, names we're going to hear often for their respective offenses.
So Dupuis rolling out to his right, throwing all the way across his body to the left, but it worked to perfection as he gives his team an early 6-0 lead.
Waiting the convert here.
So Dupuis takes the snap. Oh, pardon me. Vallée had to reset himself. Dupuis now finally gets the snap. It's a little high, but he comes down with it. He avoids the snap by Miron. Tosses to the corner, and that's caught by Gaumont. It's good for the conversion.
Very, very good. Very, very good option there, throwing it to Alexis Gaumont. Brian Mongeau, the primary read on that, on the slant in. Kevin Gauthier, number 11, on Keyport Lock. The coverage there was stellar. Jesse Dupuis had to cock the ball back down and find his receiver in the back of the end zone in Alexis Gaumont.
So Gaumont doing a good job of shaking his defender on the play. So now Jeff Rosenblatt leading the Keyport Lock offense onto the field for the first time. Takes a snap. Over the middle, and that's almost picked off. No, nice catch right there. That's number 11.
Elliot Lambert just a half step behind it. Ryan Teskowitz able to make that catch and then taking it up afterwards there. Enough for a first down and moving the chains for his team, making a big play when it counted.
Teskowitz with a huge play right there. Teskowitz so far in this postseason, 14 catches, 175 yards, 4 TDs. Coming off a big gain right there on the first play.
Two touchdowns against the Jaguars in the semifinals. Kevin Bustani with the deep catch, the hook on the outside there.
So now, GM, if you're Jeff Rosenblatt, if you're leading this Keyport Lock offense, how do you attack the Alpha Tees defense?
Honestly, it's that same sort of methodical offense that we're used to here. The dink and dunk, hitting Jadaridi in the middle, finding Daniel Farrick for those possession catches, those fades, those deep outs, really finding the matchups that he enjoys and continuing hit it until something changes.
So Rosenblatt up the middle. He had a receiver wide open. That was Tereskowicz.
Yeah, Ryan Teskowitz there. A little bit of a miscommunication. Looked almost as if it was a fade or a post to Teskowitz, but Teskowitz running that deep in instead and just a little bit off on the ball. So it's third and about fourth here.
3rd and 3, about 3rd and 4th. Yep, coming up for Keyport Lock. Let's see what they have dialed up. Rosenblatt keeping his players still in the huddle.
A matchup I want to keep my eye on right now, because it looks like it would be the opposite of how we would think it up, is Brian Mongeau is playing on Dan Farrig, who Dan Farrig has the size on, and defender Mathieu Hu, who has the size on David Miron, is covering him there. Interesting that the two guys with size.
And that's a touchdown right there. Keyport Lock. Lazy tackle attempt. It is number 18 right there. Lazy attempt on a tackle by Elliot Lambert, giving up the touchdown.
Ryan Teskowitz as well, who's been not a name that many are familiar with in FPF, but just solid hands, a key part of this offense as well, a key part of the Keyport offense. So 7-6 right here, pending convert.
Does he have the key to unlock their potential? Toss it back in the end zone. That's over the head of about everybody.
Yeah, looks like Kevin Bustani might have been the intended receiver there. He might have even have gone out of bounds trying to locate that ball. Even if it was a little bit more on target, would have been incomplete.
So the touchdown by Tereskowicz is good, but the conversion is not. So a 7-6 lead for the Alpha Tees over Keyport Lock.
1 point game here right now. Defensive turnovers are going to be huge. Jesse Dupuis, not only a very, very solid quarterback, but on the defensive side as well, moves the chains for his team. 2 defensive touchdowns, 5 defensive interceptions, just a force to be reckoned with on both sides of the ball.
Dupuis, he goes deep. Nice play by Bustani. Wow. It's intercepted.
So we saw that sort of same fake left and roll right to try and get rusher David Miron off his game. Unfortunately, the pursuit was still there. He aired it out down the sidelines, just a little bit underthrown. Very, very well tracked by Kevin Bustani, coming up with a key interception in this game. Someone who's no stranger to the interception as well. 8 touchdowns in the regular season, 5 interceptions, a pick 6 against the Jaguars. Very, very familiar name to those of us in FPF.
And it's a pretty good point you just made just before that play, talking about turnovers going to be huge in that game. So first turnover in the game right there, caused by Keyport Lock.
So right now, the momentum is swayed in the favor of Keyport Lock. Let's see if they can maintain it.
Rosenblatt gets a snap, puts it over the middle. Short pickup, nice tackle on the play right there.
Great route there by Jadaridi. It was a sort of slant out and then back into the middle. There was no one else near him. He was able to catch that ball uncontested and just move the chains up. Look, 3 yards every reception is still enough for a first down. So right now it looks like it's 2nd and 7.
So
Awaiting the snap right now.
Slow methodical drive being displayed right here by Keyport Lock.
Drawing out the clock as well, which has been a key point that we've been making for Keyport Lock. That time management would be especially important in this game. Dan Farag with a great catch.
Frag with a great catch indeed, taking it off the carpet almost. I was going to say, if Rosenblatt didn't see Farag, he had Tereskowicz wide open. Tereskowicz had did a wheel over the left sideline. He was wide open.
Look, when in doubt, you want that easy completion there right in the middle. Just a little bit underthrown, but Dan Farag able to get his hands underneath the ball to prevent it from hitting the ground and getting that key first down. Clock continues to roll as well. Ryan Teskowitz coming out of the huddle to Jeff Rosenblatt. Hopefully seeing the same. Hopefully Jeff sees the same thing that he sees right there.
Teskowitz being covered by Gaumont. Wide open over the middle. He checks it down to Reedy. Reedy's able to shake the tackle, but he fell down to the turf, so that's why we get a stoppage of play.
A little slant out as well, and credit to Teskowitz, who came out of the huddle, maybe calling his own name. You see here on that replay as well, he ran that post just by Alexis Gaumont, relatively uncovered on that play. He may be going back to the huddle and saying, hey, throw me the ball there. Here we see in the bottom of the screen there, no one near Teskowitz. So awaiting the snap right now.
2nd and about 8 for Keyport Lock. Rosenblatt gets the snap. Throws it to the left sideline. Bustani's open. Nice game by Bustani. Once again,
gotta play the whistle there right now.
That's exactly it. A lazy tackle attempt once again right there by Lambert. He just assumes he's going to come over and make the tackle.
Very, very good play design by Jeff Rosenblatt, though, having Teskowitz clear out. Or Jadaridi, who's been running those slant outs, looked to be the primary read, got the defenders on the Alpha Tees to overcommit, hitting Kevin Bustani on that hook on the sidelines, which once again could have been a touchdown, depending. He was able to get some yards before the tackle, or the whistle, rather.
It's Rosenblatt now, 3rd and half a yard. Puts it over to the sideline once again. Bustani's wide open. Making a tackle is Lambert, but not before giving up a first down.
That's that same play once again, the same sort of routes from Jadaridi and Ryan Teskowitz with Kevin Bustani on that hook, trying to make the Alpha T defenders really make a choice. And right now, they've been prioritizing the middle of the field and leaving those sidelines uncontested.
So it's still a 7-6 lead for the Alpha Tees.
Going on 10 minutes here left in that first half. Keyport Lock in the red zone.
Rosenblatt gets a snap, goes to his left once again. Pass is just a little too low for his receiver to handle. That was none other than, once again, number 17, Ryan Tereskowicz.
It looked like it was an out-in-out route, sort of triple move from him in the end zone. Although it looked to be a little bit underthrown, it was in a spot where he could have caught it, whereas if it was a little bit more on target, towards the center of Ryan Teskowitz, it looked like Elliot Lambert might have been able to make a play on that. So a safe play at the same time, and they have another opportunity in this red zone.
So this is the first time this season these two teams are meeting. The first time ever, actually, that both teams are going to battle against each other. Nice pass by Rosenblatt, intended for Farag. Mongeau got in there. Looks like he got a hand on that pass to bat it down, bringing up 3rd down and goal.
So when you see that matchup, you think that with the size difference that Dan Farag is going to be the one who will consistently come down with that. Great positioning by Brian Mongeau, able to get a hand in there, prevent him from securing that catch, and what might be a big play in this game here.
And that's the thing with Mongeau. He actually played on my team a few years ago. Speed, like you wouldn't believe, and don't let the height fool you. I mean, he's obviously the shortest player on the field, but he can get up there.
Great football awareness as well.
If you're Farag, what you have to do is you have to body him. That's the one thing Monjo's not able to do because of his small size. If you're able to body him to move him out the way, that would help a lot. And here's an interception by who? Error and pass by Rosenblatt. Rosenblatt talking to his receivers, talking to Farag. Looks like they had a bit of miscommunication on that play, but nonetheless, an interception for the Alpha Tees in the red zone.
So the crowd here going wild right now. Mathieu Hull, the savior for Alpha Tees right now, the man that they call Flag Jesus. And we have a Flag Jesus jersey in the crowd here right now too.
So, and Flag Jesus, a.k.a. Mathieu Hull, being smart by staying in the end zone instead of trying to run that one out.
Very, very defensively aware there, knowing that he wouldn't be able to get those yards. So instead, having a touchback with a knee in the end zone puts them on the 10-yard line. 7-6 right now, a little bit under 8 minutes to go in this game, in the half.
So Dupuis now waiting on the snap. He gets it. He rolls out to his right, back to the left, and back to the right again. He's going to run. And we get past Moron. Good job by Bustani coming up to support his rusher, limiting that gain.
So it looks like he ran out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. One of the routes I saw there, either on a deep out or almost a corner, was number 12 on the Alpha Tees, Alexi Gaumont, who looked like he thought he was open and not many defenders nearby. Maybe someone to look at in this next coming play. Alpha Tees right now conferring in the huddle. It looks like he might be throwing this one to Mathieu Hull. A lot of attention went to the right side of the Alpha Tees offense. So look at the matchup here. Mathieu Hull on Moazab, something to look at throughout the play here.
So if he gets the snap, he goes to his left. Monjo with the catch. He tried to shake a tackle. He's brought down. It's going to be a flag on the play as Monjo had his shirt pulled.
That's definitely going to be a hold. That's a pretty easy call that was made by our officials here on the field. Like you mentioned, the speed, the shiftiness of Brian Monjo, able to take a catch like that upfield as well. Also, not necessarily a detriment, but you mentioned that he's the smallest player on the field. Being the smallest player on the field from an offensive point of view is great because you're a lot lower. It's harder for the defenders to make that tackle. He's able to make a play like that ultimately drew the flag and got them that first down and the extra yardage for the penalty.
So the flag going on number 11 of Keyport Lock, Kevin Gauthier. So Dupuis now waiting to get the snap. His team just above midfield. High snap. He's able to come down with it. Dupuis rolling to his right. He dumps it off, and that pass falls incomplete. Looks like he was just trying to throw it away more than anything else.
Yeah, so Brian Monjo was the read on that slant in, but it looked like Jesse Dupuis wasn't confident enough with that to throw a contested ball. Threw it close enough that Monjo was definitely the intended target, but not drawing up an intentional grounding and not risking the ball being intercepted.
So living to fight another day, bring up second down here for the Alpha Tees. Alpha Tees with the ball just a little bit past midfield.
Game is still 7-6, just over 5 minutes left in the half right now.
Dupuis gets the snap, rolls out to his right. Dangerous throw, knocked down by Bustani. Good defensive play by number 57, Kevin Bustani, batting on that ball intended for Mathieu Hull.
So on the flip side, you mentioned the height of Brian Monjo not necessarily being an issue. Right there, Kevin Bustani covering a man much taller than him in Mathieu Hull, still able to come around that big body, get a hand on that ball for that pass defended, really showing his defensive pedigree on that play.
So Hull, obviously an expert at his size, using his body. Not necessarily the fastest receiver on the field, but he's able to be physical and use his body to create separation from defenders. Not able to do it right there as Bustani made a nice play on the ball.
So right here, pending snap, I'm looking at Marc-Antoine Vallée for this route. Open in the middle for just a second. Oh,
right off the hands of Hull. He would have had a touchdown right there. A nice pass by Dupuis. Put only Hull can get it, but Hull not able to come down with the pass.
So interesting fourth down here now. If they were to punt, if Alpha Tees were to punt, they would put Keyport Lock on the 1 yard line. It looks like they're going to go for it here. It's being discussed in the huddle. Keyport Lock, once again on defense, need to come up with a big defensive play, prevent the Alpha Tees gargantuan offense from scoring once again.
Since you're bringing up the punt option, would you punt right now if you were in their situation?
I think right now, especially because they are trailing by that 1 point, considering the offensive efficiency,
up by 1.
then at that point, yes, like there's at the end of the day, you need to score, and this is the finals. You don't want to put the ball in the hands of your opponents too quickly.
And smart job right there by Daniel Farag, letting that pass fall out of bounds. Decided not to pick it off, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. First stop of the game for Keyport Lock.
Second stop, Kevin Bustani with that interception
Right.
previously. So right now the clock is rolling. 1 point game, about 3.5 minutes remaining, 2-5 plays in this half. Keyport Lock out of the huddle quickly. Alpha T's defense struggling to get ready in time. Looks like they will.
Rosenblatt, he gets the snap, goes to his right-hand side again. Moran is open, tries to shake it, man. He's deflagged by Monjo, but not before picking up a couple of yards on first down.
Look, at that point, even on your first down, having a quick completion like that for 7 yards is huge. You now have the options of whether you're going to go short and get that first down, or you can take a gamble for the deep ball knowing that you still have 2 more downs to convert that first down.
So second and about 3 right now.
Surveying the scene.
Snap.
Oh, Farag on the corner.
All right, Bustani for a nice grab, catching the ball almost off the floor. And that'll be enough for a first down for Keyport Lock as they extend their drive.
Jeff Rosenblatt once again opting to take the safer choice of the two, throwing to the reliable hands of Kevin Bustani on a quick play right there. They keep the ball in their hands. They're limiting the Alpha T's offense, keeping them rested right now. All that Keyport Lock need to do at this point is score before the half.
Jadderidi getting ready to make the snap. Rosenblatt right back there to receive it.
Surveying
Just
the scene.
inside of 2 minutes left in this first half. 7-6 lead for the Alpha T as Rosenblatt gets the snap. Goes to the sideline. That's a bad pass, and it's picked off.
That's exactly what they didn't need at this point. Kevin Bustani in the back of the end zone in the middle there, hands on his knees, a little bit exasperated, thinking he was open and probably having the matchup there.
The pass is picked off by Alexis Gaumont.
That's the one thing about the sort of methodical dink and dunk offense is that you create more opportunities for a turnover there. More offensive plays, more opportunities for turnover.
And Reggie, I mean, it is a dink and dunk offense, but I mean, that's what they've been successful at so far this evening. But
up until this point.
Yeah, exactly. Electing to take an intermediate route, and that was just unsuccessful. Valet, a nice catch over the middle. Chase one tackle, finally brought down by Jadderidi.
So up until this point, each quarterback has thrown an interception right now. Just to be finding that safety outlet in Marc-Antoine Valet in the middle of the field for that first down and more a little shake and bake there.
Now you have to wonder, as we're inside a minute remaining in this first half, if Jesse Dupuis is going to try and go deep again. So far, it hasn't worked out that great for him. He's been picked off once and thrown a couple of incomplete passes. There's Elliot Lambert. This is wide receiver on the right. They like to go deep with him a lot. Pass to the sideline to Monjo. Monjo tries to break a tackle. He's deflagged.
By that tackling machine they call Daniel Farag. Very great awareness there. That hook was open on the sidelines, limiting the yards after completion there. Just both defenders crashing Brian Monjo on after that catch.
Yeah, Farag coming in there. He was accompanied by Kevin Gauthier.
So right now the clock is winding down. It looks like we will likely have 6 plays remaining in this half, quickly approaching the 5 play limit.
So Dupuis giving us some last minute instructions to his teammates. Gets a quick snap from Valet. Dupuis rolling to his right. He's going to run for it. Nice deflag right there by Miron. Nice tackle.
Let's see where they spot him. Is it enough for a first down? It looks like, just shy of that first down there. 5 plays remaining in this half, it looks like.
And that play was huge because they were outside the red zone, and now Dupuis can't run after deciding to run on that play right there. 5 plays remaining in this first half. The Alpha T is clinging to a 7-6 lead over Keyport Lock, but they are driving. Let's see what they have dialed up right here. GM, what would you call if you were Jesse Dupuis right now?
So I've mentioned in the past having that mismatch of Marc-Antoine Valet on the corner, but it looks like coverage has switched here. It looks like it might be man coverage here. In that case, I'd like Brian Mongeau on that comeback.
Dump off pass, and it's caught. Did he get into the end zone? No, he's down. It's a couple yards short. That, of course, is number 12, Alexis Gaumont.
Enough for a first down there. We're first down, 4 plays remaining in the half. They're now in the red zone. At this point, it becomes a toss-up whether they're going to score right away or take a few plays before scoring to end the half and making sure that Keyport Lock do not get this ball back.
And Dupuis is always showing he's never afraid to throw balls off of his back foot or off balance. He's able to connect with Gaumont right there. So a fresh set of downs.
Sort of surveying the scene here. Yeah, surveying the scene, this offense right now. You see the height on both sides. Elliot Lambert, you mentioned before, on those hooks on the outside has been open. Let's see if it goes there again.
Bad snap, caught by Dupuis, throw it to the sideline, and no! They're going to say he bobbled a little bit. That's Matthew Hu. Self-proclaimed Fly Jesus, dropping yet another potential touchdown.
Look, at this point, as long as Alpha T score before the half is out, this will still be a successful drive for them, especially since they are limiting the amount of plays that Keyport Lock will have in this first half, if any at all at this point.
Timeout called by the Alpha T's. That's a smart timeout right there. The within scoring range up by only 1 point in this do-or-die game.
It looks like it might not be a timeout, but in fact a challenge here on this play. So they might be contesting whether or not Mathieu Houle did in fact catch that ball. So let's see it on the replay here on the screen.
Now,
that's
like
1 foot.
He only got 1 foot in. Yeah, his left foot came down with the ball. His right foot went out of bounds.
So early on, it does not look like the catch was secured. We have 1 foot for sure in, but it looks like that second foot fell out of bounds before.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty clear.
Referee John Delilah on the sidelines there calling an incomplete catch.
Yeah,
let's see from our other angle.
He's able to get that left foot in bounds without question, but that right foot definitely does not come down before he secures that ball.
So we have the officials up here reviewing. They're still in discussion right now. In the booth right now, referee Tara Mrachik going to make this decision here and defer back to our referees on the field.
Of course, every point counts, especially in the finals. It's going to be a big call for either side.
So it looks like we're hitting it from every possible angle here, trying to get a proper estimation of whether or not this was or was not a catch.
See, right there, it looks like he finally has the ball. That left foot is down. That right foot, unfortunately, comes out.
So even at this point, like I hear our producer, Alex Aquila Eagle, one more time, they want to get this really, really sure right now because it is such a close call right now. Even with this this replay technology right there, it's still fallible. We're still not 100% sure on this one. Still discussing right now at this moment, both teams conferring in their respective huddles. It's a close one, honestly. Like it's the difference between a score and not. And in a game this closely contested right now, it might be on both sides a difference maker that we refer to as we come back to this game as it unfolds.
Yeah, as I said just before, every point matters.
Fans here doing the wave. Haven't seen the wave in years.
We're about to get a decision right here. And they're calling it a touchdown.
Looks like they are calling it a touchdown. Crowd is very, very happy with that one.
So it took a few extra minutes, but we're glad we got it right. So a big catch right there by Houle.
So on that play, Houle was, in fact, once again the savior of this team, especially so close to the half, making it
a 13-6 lead.
A 13-6 lead, exactly.
So right here, would you elect to go for two?
Look, considering Dupuis' mobility, I would love to go for two here, potentially make it a two-score game, and it looks like that is indeed what will happen. You also have the big playability of Alexis Gaumont, the jump ball ability of Mathieu Houle, so going for two definitely makes sense.
So Dupuis gets a snap. Throws it right to the right side, and that's tipped. Tipped by
Mo Azad.
Yep.
What is with that hair, by the way? Not something we're used to seeing on Mo Azab. Definitely a seasoned veteran of FPF as well. Great defensive positioning on receiver Alexis Gaumont, making sure that he's not able to get into the end zone with that ball. So very, very few plays left in this half. Keyport Lock with that ball once again, able to score at a moment's notice. It is now on the shoulders of the Alpha T's to come up with a stop right before the half.
Rosenblatt waiting for the snap. He gets it. Goes right down the middle, and that's, oh, nice catch Nice catch right there, Ryan Tereskowicz. Looked like Jim. That pass had trouble written all over it.
So that was feathered a little bit more than I would have liked. It looked like it was just a duck that was thrown in the air. But Tereskowicz made a great play, tracked that ball perfectly, made sure that he had position on the defenders, made that catch. And we are now just past the halfway point of the field. Keyport Lock continue to march.
So what would you call it right here, Jim? Obviously, if you're Jeff Rosenblatt, they've had success over the middle of the field. Would you go back to that?
Yes, it's success in the middle of the field. At this point, I want to fade. I want to post to Daniel Farag, with the matchup on Brian Mongeau right there.
Rosenblatt.
There it is. Oh,
nice catch. Oh, nice defensive play. It's going to be pass
there's a
interference.
flag on the play.
He said there's going to be pass interference called on that. That's going to go against number 18, Elliot Lambert. Looks like he got a hand on Tereskowicz right at the goal line. Oh, it's going to be holding, rather.
Yeah, it looks like it is indeed holding. Not quite defensive pass interference, but enough to move them up and put them into position with a new down here to get the play in.
So huge call.
It looks like it was indeed called holding, yes.
Yep. Yeah, so a huge call going in the favor of Keyport Lock. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
So let's look at the replay there on the sidelines. So unsure whether the call was defensive pass interference or holding. The signal we saw was the holding signal. Whether that ended up being the official call or not, being discussed right now currently.
And a timeout being called by Keyport Lock.
So as the timeout has been called by Keyport Lock, we have the opportunity to go back and review that play once again just to see if it was indeed a hold or a pass interference. As both teams confer, the officials are meeting in the middle to sort of discuss what just happened here.
That's gonna be interesting.
One play remaining in the half here.
So 10 seconds remaining in the timeout for Keyport Lock. Let's see if that timeout was useful. Let's see what they have dialed up.
And I'm calling it once again. You need to throw that fade to Daniel Farag here. This is the play you want in the red zone.
Rosenblatt gets a snap. Goes to the corner. Farag just unable to come down with the pass.
Just a little too high. Not sure if it was a late jump or just unable to properly position his body, going outside shoulder instead of inside shoulder as he might have thought the pass was coming to him as. So we go into the half here, 13-6 for Alpha Tees.
So GM Keyport Lock with Jeff Rosenblatt rather had the right idea right there going against Mongeau. We talked about Mongeau was able to get up there, but he put that pass from Mongeau, definitely couldn't reach it. But again, just not able to connect, just missing by a couple of inches with Farag.
Look, at this point, it's not the end of the world, considering Keyport Lock will start with the ball in the second half. That offense has the chance to once again march down the field, chew some time off of the clock, and limit, once again, the offensive snaps of the Alpha Tees, which has been the key to success for them in this game. They need to come up with another stop on defense if possible. These converts will be huge, considering it is a 7-point game. Whether Keyport Lock will score and go for 2 or go for 1 in the tie, and then hope they come up with a stop afterwards.
Now, for a Keyport Lock offense, who averaged 29 points in the regular season and 34 points in the playoffs. I mean, they've only scored 6. I mean, this is a season low for them, at least in the first half. What do they need to do offensively to wake up?
I don't think that they necessarily need to score over 30 points to win this game. I think what they're doing right now, drawing the clock down, really limiting the amount of plays that this game will have in total, both on offense and on defense for both sides, just slowing this game down to a snail's pace, getting Alpha Tees off of their game and frustrated is definitely more of a priority than putting up big numbers in this game. You only need 1 point to win in the finals.
Now I'm switching sides to the Alpha Tees defense. They come in the playoffs, rather, giving up only 24 points a game. What do you think has made them so successful so far, at least in the first half of action?
Look, so far in the first half of action, they know what Keyport Lock's method is. They've come up just a little bit short sometimes in making those stops. Other times, key interception, key defensive plays on both sides. Each team with an interception right now. I don't know if the next interception will win this game, but right now the momentum is up for grabs at this point.
And we've seen, obviously, going back over to Keyport Lock, Daniel Farag, their #1 receiver. I mean, 25 catches in the regular season, 359 yards, 12 TDs, and 3 touchdowns so far in this postseason. He's been extremely quiet so far this season. A, how surprised are you to see that? And B, what do you think he'll need to do to pick it up in the second half?
I'm not surprised to see it because even in the playoffs, you need to go with the matchups that benefit you. Also, remember, Jadaridi, very, very big part of this offense, very productive, 44 catches in the regular season. Debatably, another one player we talk about as like the lifeblood of this offense and possibly the #1 receiver, 11 touchdowns in the regular season. Very, very seasoned veteran in FPF as well.
Yeah, and Jadaridi is another player. I was just going to mention him next. I mean, he's been pretty quiet, especially at least offensively, so far this evening. Not doing too much. I believe he has 1, possibly 2 catches on the evening. I mean, this is a Keyport offense, a Keyport Lock offense, who I mentioned before. They've upped their scoring total in the postseason, but again, they seem asleep at the wheel, if you will, so far, at least in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, 6 points is definitely not an ideal number to have scored in the first half. But they start with the ball in the second half. He's been hitting his receivers, not necessarily the more familiar ones, but the lifeblood of this offense through Teskowitz, through Kevin Bustani. He's used to spreading the ball and getting those quick completions. So I don't think it's quite cause for worry just yet. Awaiting the snap here.
And here goes the second half. Rosenblatt gets that snap. Nice catch. Beautiful catch right there, and a lot of traffic by number 17, of course, Ryan Tereskowicz. He had 2 guys around the ball. He somehow managed to get up there, catch the ball at his highest point, come down, and come up with a big first down gain for Keyport Lock.
Once again, a pass like that had a little bit more air than I would have liked. But Ryan Teskowitz, again, despite 2 Alpha T's defenders, able to catch that ball, get that first down, and be the producer for this team on this offense.
So Rosenblatt has his team marching. Let's see what they do here on first down.
Crossing routes.
Nice sack by Valet, his first of the game.
Yeah, so Jeff Rosenblatt isn't someone who we normally see sack too often. 6 sacks in the regular season. Thinking he was just going to be able to shake Marc-Antoine Valet with a quick move of the hips. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for the Alpha T's, the very sure-handed, sure tackle or sure sack of Marc-Antoine Valet backs them up here.
So for Valet, that's his 5th sack of the postseason. He picked up 2 against the Commission and 2 last week against Top Season.
Against very, very mobile quarterbacks as well. So it might even be a little bit more of a relief for him to be able to rush Jeff Rosenblatt, who isn't quite as mobile as the 2 you mentioned in Jared Taylor.
Chris Olsen and Jared Taylor. Rosenblatt gets a snap now on second down. He goes over the middle. Nice catch right there by Farag, and we mentioned his name a few minutes ago, GM. Finally coming up with a big catch right there to get his team within about 4 yards of that first down marker.
So on the Keyport Lock left side of the offense, our right, the defensive right as well, you see a wheel unfolding just to push back the defenders. Farag able to catch that ball in the middle, able to position himself just shy of that first down, but moves them that much closer considering the sack on the previous play.
Yeah, missing the first down by about 6 yards, rather. So setting up a big 3rd and 6 for the Keyport Lock offense. Rosenblatt gets the snap. Goes over the middle, bad pass, and that's picked.
That was a high pass. I saw Daniel Farag trying to make an attempt on it, but unfortunately, even if he had a hand on it or not, Mathieu Hull is still able to come down with the big interception there.
And he had David Miron wide open on the left-hand side, Rosenblatt's right. He was hoping for at least a first down, but another bad pass over the middle by Rosenblatt, and it looks like the Keyport Lock offense is falling apart at the worst possible time.
Yeah, so I mentioned before that it wasn't that big an issue provided that Keyport Lock were going to be able to march downfield and score. Now they're down by 7 points and they're on defense. They need to come up with a stop here to prevent the offensive train that is the Alpha T's from leaving the station and leaving them behind in the dust.
So the Pui now gets a snap from about his 3-yard line. He's able to put a move on the rusher. He's off and running, finally brought down by Muhammad Azab. Right after a gain of about 6 yards by Dupuis.
So looking like that snap came in a little bit sideways, pressure coming from David Miron, just to be able to roll out, to not give up a safety, not give up a sack, and make some yardage there, moving them closer to the first down.
So after that run by Dupuis, setting up second and manageable, looks like it's about 2nd and 4 for the Alpha T's offense.
I think when you're Jesse Dupuis and you have that ability to make a big play, whether it's throwing downfield or taking off on a run, every play is second and manageable.
Duly noted. Second down, Dupuis takes the snap, he passes it over. Wide open is Gaumont. Can he get it in for the touchdown? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Alexis Gaumont, his 8th of the postseason.
So it looked like that first read was the hook in the middle there, Marc-Antoine Vallée. Jadaridi reading that, stepping up to prevent that from happening, instead leaving Alexis Gaumont open on the hook just behind him, who then takes it up for the yards after completion, shakes the tackle, and gets the touchdown as well.
So we'll have to see if they can get this conversion right here. Up by a score now of 19-6 are the Alpha T's over Keyport Lock. Alpha T's deciding to go for the 1-point conversion.
So clock is running right now. More pressure is on Keyport Lock. They knew it already. We knew it. It's going to be only a matter of time before the big play needs to happen for them.
Pastor Hu in the back of the end zone. He catches it. The conversion is good. Extend that lead now to 20-6 for the Alpha T's.
This crowd is now fired up. We mentioned as the second half was starting that it could be anyone's game and that the momentum was up for grabs. Right now, it looks like Alpha T's are capitalizing on it. They're riding on the wave of the crowd right now. The crowd put up their hands for the wave, and Alpha T's are capitalizing.
So now, Jim, if you're Jeff Rosenblatt, what do you have to do with this offense? I mean, they
score
two bad interceptions.
Absolutely.
But it's easier said than done, obviously, as we've seen so far this evening.
I think at this point he really needs to be very confident in his reads, have that back foot planted, and really complete those passes.
On a drive to the sideline, he planted that foot, he fired it to the sideline, but Bustani could have come up with the catch off of a low pass by Rosenblatt.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of the opposite of, I felt, right there, just a bit of a rushed throw. That hook on the outside was open for a little while, but he's unable to get the target there. Downfield, Dan Farag and Jadaridi as well, who are relatively open players to look at as this continues to unfold. You need a big play from one of your go-to guys.
So he has Tereskowicz in the slot on his left and Farag in the slot on his right. Rosenblatt gets the snap. And that pass almost picked up by Mongeau.
Farag once again on the post, having the inside shoulder on Houle. Jeff Rosenblatt unable to see it, unfortunately, going to the safety outlet in Jadaridi, which makes sense, someone you're more comfortable going to, but just open around the middle there, and one he'd definitely like to take back.
Yeah, Kevin Bustani streaking on the left sideline. Looks like he had a stepper or two on his defender, but Rosenblatt didn't see him.
So we talked about what would be key for them, and it would be important to sort of march with the targets that you're familiar with, but priority one right now is finding the open receiver.
So Rosenblatt gets the snap once again. He goes to the left-hand side. Tereskowicz with the reception.
Looks like it's about 7-8 yards, just short of the first down. Keyport Lock will need to convert here on this 4th and 1. This is a big one. This is a real big one for them right here.
A big tackle right there by Jesse Dupuis, keeping Tereskowicz from getting that first down, as you mentioned, GM. And now it's going to be 4th and inches. Less than a yard for the Keyport Lock offense. Alpha T's with a 20-6 lead, just inside of 14.5 minutes remaining in this one. The Division 4A Finals. Brent Bakken, GM,
pre-snap,
with you.
Jadaridi there whispering back to Jeff Rosenblatt. Let's see what unfolds right here for this play.
There you go, smart dump off to Aridi. This is going to suggest they do that. He was open.
So we've seen Jadaridi on a lot of those slant out and then cutting back ins. It might have even been there, Jad just seeing that he had the outside shade open on his defender, saying, don't throw me the double move, just hit me on the slant there, and looks like it was successful for that first down.
And it's literally GM a tale of two sides. You see the Alpha T's, other friends and family members jumping up and screaming the entire game, whereas to our left, the Keyport Lock.
It's relatively quiet right now.
Waiting for the tumbleweeds to roll by. Rosenblatt throws it to Bustani. Nice catch right there. All hands by Bustani. Tackled on the play by number 18, Elliot Lambert.
Once again, Farag and Jad relatively uncovered in the middle there. I think since that tipped ball for the interception, Rosenblatt is shying away a little bit more from hitting that middle of the field, even though it is open, and the Alpha Tees are capitalizing by stacking the outside a little bit more efficiently.
I wonder if he's going to go to Muhammad Azab, was being played by the much slower Matthew Hu on the outside. Goes to Farag. Oh, nice double effort, but to say no, he didn't come up with the catch. He jumped up to catch that pass. He didn't really have to. He tipped it down to himself, made the catch as he's going out of bounds, but they're going to say he didn't have full possession.
So with that in mind, it's gonna become a crucial third down here. Jeff Rosenblatt signifying to his receivers, get back into the huddle faster. We need to make time up on this. The urgency is certainly there. They just really need to come up with a play here.
The urgency is definitely there, but maybe it should have happened maybe 10 minutes ago.
Very, very true. Better late than never.
Rosenblatt now waiting for the snap. He gets it. Going deep to the corner for Bustani. Touchdown!
Great play. Kevin Bustani able to corral that ball in, place his feet, make sure he was in bounds making that catch. Great corner route from him. And that's the play we needed. So far right now, an interception, a key pass defend, and now a touchdown for his team. Kevin Bustani is coming up big in these finals so far.
So Bustani is showing all the young kids. If you guys are watching at home, any young kids out there, some young wide receivers and some FPF junior players, that's how you run a perfect corner route.
Kevin Bustani leaning on the side of young kids himself, though, I feel like. Putting on the lead by example, right?
Well, like I said, for the FPF junior kids.
Yeah.
Nice catch by Tereskowicz for the conversion.
So once again, those sort of double, triple moves from the slot position, either the out, in, out, or just the smash out, getting position on his defender right there. Very, very key play. We are now in a 7-point game once again. The Keyport Lock defense still have to make a stop.
Yeah, exactly. 20-13 lead for the Alpha Tees, just outside of 11 minutes remaining in this second half of football. Obviously, Keyport Lock's going to try and get the stop right here, which would be huge if they could create a turnover. And I mean, it's felt like GM for the last 10-15 minutes, like it's been a completely one-sided game, but Keyport Lock showing themselves a little bit of life.
There's a sign of life, exactly. Just under 11 minutes left in this game as well. Dump off to Marc-Antoine Vallée for 5-6 yards. Great tackle by Daniel Farag, not limiting him to no more than that.
So Vallée for about a 3-yard gain on that play right there. After the tackle by Farag, bringing up second and about 7, maybe even 6.
So I think at this point, especially from the Keyport Lock defense, we need a strong rush showing from David Miron. He really needs to stop Jesse Dupuis from making that first plant and then going the other way. He really needs to make him commit and hopefully force him into a mistake.
So Dupuis with Hu and Lambert to his right and Gaumont and Mongeau to his left. Vallée right up the middle. Vallée was open for a second. Miron's chasing him. Good job coming up once again in run support to Muhammad Azab. Stopping Dupuis from getting the first down, but Dupuis looks like he picked up about 5, maybe 6 yards on that run right there.
So they're just short here. They will have to pass to convert on this first down. Not necessarily limiting the run completely, but the pursuit from David Miro and the strong tackling or forcing him out of bounds by Mo Azab to prevent that first down from happening. 9 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this second half.
So a big 3rd and 1 coming up right here for the Alpha Tees.
Waiting for the snap right now.
Dupuis, he gets it. Miron's right in his face. Dump off. Nice play by Jadarides. He bats down that pass intended
for Alexis
Gaumont, exactly.
Jadarides, he's excited. He's fired up. He's jumping there, coming up on a big stop here. And now the question is, will they punt or will they try and convert on this first down here? Big 4th down.
And you have to wonder right there, GM, if Jadarides was just a step quicker, he would have been able to possibly pick that pass right off. So big 4th and 1 coming at midfield for the Alpha Tees. Keyport Lock looking to build off the momentum of their touchdown they scored a few minutes ago and try to come up with a stop right here.
Big play coming up here. Looking like it might be man, certainly press coverage here. The defenders playing up close. High snap.
Dupuis. And Vallée, I don't know, GM, how he got so open. but he was wide open and a huge gain and a huge conversion on 4th down for the Alpha Tees.
So, I mean, there's a reason why he's the rusher for this team, and also like that big mobility at center. I mentioned that both centers we're going to see a lot of talk surrounding, and certainly on those key plays, not necessarily like a quick 1 yard or 2 yarder to get that first down, knowing that he'd be able to get separation on that deep out there. Great play by Marc-Antoine Vallée, and great play call by Jesse Dupuis on a key 4th down.
And a great job by Jesse Dupuis of getting a high snap. That had trouble written all over it.
Yeah, that definitely had trouble written all over it. Instead, he's able to fake the rollout, buy enough time to make that play happen.
You have to wonder what the Keyport Lock defense was doing on that play. Dupuis gets the snap here. Goes to the back of the end zone, over the outstretched arms of Alexis Gaumont.
Knowing he overthrew him as well, you see a little bit of just a hand up there from Jesse Dupuis in the vicinity, like just signaling to Alexis Gaumont, sorry, my bad. At this point right now, they're in the red zone. Keyport Lock need to come up with this big play on defense.
So I have to see what Alpha T is going to dial up right here on this big play. 7 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in this second half of football. A 7-point lead, 20-13 for the Alpha T's over Keyport Lock.
Pay attention here to the sort of deep routes with deep routes clearing out with a hook or a drag underneath for a quick completion.
And Dupuis goes to his right. He tosses it up the back of the end zone over the outstretched arms of Vallée. That's the second time in a row.
Yeah, very dangerous there. Rolling out, not quite throwing cross body, but not fully planting, just sort of airing it out to a general vicinity. That's a dangerous pass.
And Jim, I'll tell you, I mean, I'm sure you played against Dupuis as well. I played against Dupuis multiple times, obviously, a few weeks ago in the playoffs, but I played him last year in the spring playoffs too, and he was throwing for show me your TDs. That's the one flaw in his game as a passer. When you're able to get pressure, especially right directly in his face, he will do that. He will throw across. He will roll to one side and throw across his body. Sometimes it works out for them, but other times it doesn't.
So Keyport Lock will need to capitalize on this and make it more centric to their game plan on defense.
Dupuis now, he gets a snap, rolls right in his face, toss to the corner, off of the hands. I believe it was Alexis Gaumont who was wide open in the corner. Bit of a high pass by Dupuis, but Gaumont, being the talented he is, he definitely should have came down with that one.
Yeah, so 4th down here right now. That was definitely a gift from the Alpha T's to the Keyport Lock defense. Alexis Gaumont having the opportunity to sort of deliver the backbreaker there. Still a 7-point game as the clock winds down. Less than 6 minutes left in this game right now.
And Jim, I got to ask you, I mean, second big play in a row where a receiver for the Alpha T's is wide open. First was Marc-Antoine Vallée, and then we see Alexis Gaumont wide open in the end zone. How does that happen for the Keyport Lock defense?
So timeout called right now by the Alpha T's offense. I think that how does that happen is that it's just testament, honestly, to the athletes on the field right now, and especially these two teams in the finals. They're the best of the best right now. So you know that like a receiver like Alexis Gaumont, like Marc-Antoine Vallée, are able to shed the coverage very easily. No slouch on the Keyport Lock defense, though, but they just have that ability to get separation.
So we'll have to see coming out of this timeout in a few seconds what exactly the Alpha T's plan to do on this big play right here. 10 seconds remaining in the timeout.
So leaving the huddle right now, I feel like once again he's been the important one for the Alpha T's. Look at Marc-Antoine Vallée going left. Look at Alexis Gaumont, Brian Mongeau. Keep an eye on the left side of the field for this play here.
Dupuis gets the snap. He rolls out to his right. Shovel pass to Hu, and he catches it for the touchdown.
Hey, if that's there, you absolutely take that. Hu with position over defender Moazab to put them up by 2 scores now.
So Hu will get another touchdown catch.
And the fans are very happy with this right now. We see the fans just very loud and excited.
So let's see whether it looks like they're going to go for 1 here, up by a score of 26-13.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this game here right now. Falling just more and more out of reach for this Keyport Lock team.
A nice touchdown conversion rather by Mongeau, having to leap up to catch that high pass by Dupuis, but coming down with it, extending the lead now to 27-13 for the Alpha T's with 4:40 remaining in the second half of football.
At this point right now, it's going to not only come down to efficient offense for the Keyport Lock offense, but also capitalizing on those converts. That's going to be a big one in this game. It's going to be the difference, because even if Keyport Lock are able to make a comeback, if they're not able to punch in those converts, it's going to be for nothing.
So ready with the snap now. Rosenblatt gets it. He rolls over to his left, dumps it over the middle, off of the hands of Bustani, who jumped to catch that pass.
Post corner route from Ryan Teskowitz. Possibly open there. Kevin Gauthier as well along those sidelines on the other side. Kevin Bustani just unable to bring in that pass.
3 minutes, 55 seconds remaining.
Whatever happens for Keyport Lock, it's got to happen fast right now.
2nd and 10 coming up. Rosenblatt gets the snap. He goes deep to the sideline to nobody. Monjo almost came up with that interception, went off of his hands as he was going out of bounds.
Yeah, that would have been the final nail in the coffin. A little bit of a miscommunication there. I think that both Kevin Gauthier and Dan Farag thought they were running the same route, and whatever Jeff Rosenblatt called to the deep sidelines was not run by either of them.
So this is it. It's do or die time, 100% for Keyport Lock.
This is an important one here. Kevin Bustani leaving the huddle a little bit early. Everyone else slightly delayed there. Maybe he's the one to look at in this this drive.
Rosenblatt gets a snap.
Oh,
Over the middle, and that's going to get picked. And
that's
yes, it
far
is.
underthrown.
Lexi Gomon running it back for the touchdown. He's deflagged at about the 8 or 10 yard line by Ryan Tereskovich.
No fault of Kevin Bustani's there. He had that separation. We saw him leave the huddle early. He was definitely the primary target. That was just a poorly thrown pass by Jeff Rosenblatt, way underthrown, that Alexi Gomon was able to intercept and bring back for a significant chunk of yardage.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on Bustani's face. It's pretty manageable as he walks his way back to the huddle. He's been open a lot of times throughout this game. I mean, he did have the one bad drop earlier on that drive, but he's been getting separation all game long from his defenders, but Rosenblatt is not able to connect with him deep yet again.
So coming close to 2 minutes remaining in this game here right now. At this point, there's not a lot of hope left for Keyport Lock. They're going to have to come up with something big right here, right now.
Keyport Lock needing a turnover right here. Pass to the corner of the end zone, off of the hands of Gaumont.
So
timeout being called by Keyport Lock.
So at least they've stopped the clock from running at this point. 1:56 remaining. It's just going to have to come down to preventing this score. If Alpha T's score on this drive, I think it's safe to say that this game is over.
Looks like Alpha T's, pardon me, rather Keyport Lock is just this timeout is delaying the inevitable. Hello, GM. Obviously, you played in the league a long time, just like I have. We've seen some crazier things happen, so we can't say it's over just yet.
Oh, without a doubt. Any given Sunday or Saturday in this case, the game can go either way, and it's not over until it's called. So at this point, there's still hope.
So Dupuis giving some final instructions to his center, Marc-Antoine Vallée. Dupuis gets the snap. Looking to his left, he throws it there. That's caught by Gaumont, but he double caught it. Bounced off his hands. He's able to finally come down for it, but he was out of bounds.
So third down here, just outside the end zone, like you said, unable to score there. That could have been, once again, the straw that broke the camel's back. Still hope in the eyes of Keyport Lock, and still a possibility for that comeback.
So the Alpha T's being smart right here, taking their time in the huddle, letting a lot of seconds come off of that clock. The clock right now is their enemy. The only thing standing in the way from yet another championship. Dupuis gets the snap.
Mongeau on the slant underneath. Oh.
Nice catch by Vallée on a pass that was well behind him by Dupuis.
And you see the Alpha T's fans here standing up. You see the dejection of Keyport Lock. It's pretty well done.
Now as the time ticks on, we are inside a minute to 5 plays. And the lead has now been extended after the touchdown by Vallée. 33-13 for the Alpha T's. Looking to extend that lead to 34 to be able to get this 1-point conversion.
And at that point, I think it's already a 20-point game. We're going into 5 plays. It might be time to call this game.
Who open, that pass is picked off by Bustani. He doesn't even try to run it back. He's just dejected as the rest of his team is.
He knows at this point it's the time to make the play was not on the convert, but on the touchdown just before that. So the clock winds down. You see Keyport Lock are slow to get onto the field on offense. They've huddled up. Quick huddle there. Trips to our... Oh, looks like it's going to be regular here. Jeff Rosenblatt ready to snap the ball. This looks like this will be the last play.
So like I said, he throws it to his right to Miron. Miron breaks the tackle, finally brought down by Hool. And that will do it. The Alpha T's, your Division 4A champions, with a 33-13 win over Keyport Lock. GM, yet another championship. Seems like almost every season the Alpha T's managed to walk away for a little bit of championship gold. For you, what do you think was key for them in getting the W tonight?
It's definitely the experience of this team as well, having everyone contribute at different parts throughout the game. I think this now is honestly the difference between a championship team in the Alpha T's and a dynasty in the Alpha T's. They continue to win, they continue to move up. They're a model for success in the lower divisions and now consistently moving up to the higher divisions of FPF. They have that experience, and this is a team that we will continue to hear about.
And for Keyport Lock, obviously going to the other side, this is probably one of, if not their worst performance of the season. Going forward from here, though, what do you think they have to do to maybe build off of this or to learn from this experience?
Honestly, there's not a lot that needs to be done for Keyport Lock. They have the experience, they have the knowledge. It just comes down to really matchups and exploiting them and making the plays when they counted.
Je vais shooter down to Raul Campana. He's going to
Donc,
interview
je suis ici avec les Alpha T's, les gagnants d'un autre championnat. Ça fait une couple là pour eux. Alors, pour présenter le trophée Division 4A, je demande au capitaine Marc-Antoine Vallée. Félicitations, Marc-Antoine. Bel job. J'ai les chandails à donner. Puis la dernière chose, c'est le Finals MVP. Je vais faire le signe de la croix ici. Mathieu Hull. Félicitations, Mac. Merci. Tiens, les gars, je vais prendre la photo d'équipe vite.
So Matthew Hu getting the Finals MVP after his performance this evening for the Alpha T's. Coming up with a number of big catches for his team. Getting a couple of touchdowns as well, helping his team get, once again, the 33-13 victory over Keyport Lock.
So as we wait the post-game interview, Brent, are you surprised in the result of this game?
I'm surprised at the performance by Keyport Lock. I'm not necessarily surprised by the result. I mean, the Alpha T's, honestly, I mean, I play in Conference A with the commission. We had to play the Alpha T's in the playoffs. I'm 100% certain in the fact that I think Conference A for the entire season is better than the other side, which is Conference B. Again, I'm not surprised at the result. The Alpha T's are definitely a great team, obviously, and they proved it this evening. I'm just surprised once again with the Keyport Lock offense.
7 secondes.
We're going to have an interview with
Mathieu
Hu, the Finals MVP, with Rob Campana.
Mathieu, comment ça se sent après toutes ces années? Un autre championnat, mais cette fois-ci un peu plus spécial avec le MVP.
Yes. Écoute, c'est une expérience incroyable. Je ne sais pas où la caméra, mais c'est fou. J'aurais jamais réussi sans une gang de gars malades là-bas. On a été affectés par des blessures tout le long des playoffs. On a joué à 6, puis on l'a fait 3 times back-to-back, baby. We did it! Yeah!
All right, félicitations, Mathieu. Bel job.
We apologize for the screaming in the ears there, but yeah, once again, Matthew Hu, well-deserved Finals MVP.
And the Alpha T's are Division 4A champions.
Yeah, well-deserved indeed. I want to ask you, just going back to, at least what I think, GM, are 2 key plays of the game, both coming on 4th down. That long pass to Marc-Antoine Vallée that he just caught it just outside the end zone, where Keyport Lock had a chance to hold just above midfield to hold the Alpha T's offense. And again, that touchdown pass on 4th down to Matthew Hu. How big do you think those 2 plays were in the outcome of the game?
Look, at the end of the day, Keyport Lock really needed to make those stops in key moments like that. Alpha T's capitalized, but were consistent throughout the game up until this point, not necessarily just those two big plays. I think that falls more on the Keyport Lock shoulders than it does on the successes of the Alpha T's, because the Alpha T's were successful throughout the bulk of the game.
And again, going back, I mean, it sounds like a broken record, but going back to the Keyport Lock offense, I mean, scoring only a handful of points this evening. How surprised you that they weren't able to connect on anything deep whatsoever the entire game?
Look, what works for you against certain matchups might not be the case come the finals, so you really need to adapt and adjust and adapt, and that's what the Alpha T's were able to do.
So once again, here from the Bell Sports Complex, it is the Alpha T's, your Division 4A champs, with a 33-13 win over Keyport Lock. Brent Bakken, GM Collectors with you on the broadcast. So it's been a fun night, Championship Saturday. We look forward to doing it again tomorrow, of a number of championship games coming up right here for Flag Plus Football.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, have a good night.